Hello, this is Dan Farisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator. So happy to be joined today by Gabi Shriki, who is Head of Audio-Video Business at Valens. And of course, Valens is the co-founder of the HDBaseT Alliance. They're going to be exhibiting at ISE 2023 in booth 2M650. Again, 2M650. And I'm really delighted to have you here with me today, Gabi, to let me know what Valens has in store. I have a sense it's going to be really kind of a revolutionary offering that ISE showgoers can look forward to seeing.
Hello, Dan. Nice to see you again. And hello to the audience. And we'll be delighted to see you all at ISE. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And I'm really excited to be spending time at the booth, getting an opportunity to connect with you and checking out everything Valens has to offer. I'd like to start, if it's okay with you, with some of the new capabilities of your VS3000 Stello family chipset. So do you want to start with that? And in particular, I want to talk about those dual HDBaseT digital interface, DHDI, chip-to-chip interconnect and the benefits of that.
Dan, if I may actually use slides to help describe the feature and help the audience realize the value of this feature. So I'm going to share the slideshow prepared. So the DHDI, double HDBaseT digital interconnect, it's a very long name, I know, but it's a very important feature of the VS3000, the Stello family. The Stello family is already fully packed with capabilities. It has multiple interfaces, like you could see here in this slide, the HDMI input and output, the control signals, the audio signals, and USB and Ethernet that all can be tunneled over a single cable over the RJ45 interface of the HDBaseT. All these capabilities extended simultaneously with no compression at the highest resolution, highest bandwidth possible. On top of that, with the ability of the internal HDBaseT switch core, we have an interconnect bus. We call it DHDI. It's a chip-to-chip interconnect. It has two interfaces that can be configured as an input or an output. Flexible, both can be output, both can be input, or typically one will be input, one will be output. So what we can do with that, imagine I can connect two of those VS3000 through the DHDI bus. And now I have the ability to take interfaces, what we call here refer as T adapter, HDBaseT adapters. It could be HDMI, it could be USB, as I mentioned earlier. And I can route it from one chip either to the external HDBaseT link or through the DHDI to the other HDBaseT product. So what can I do with that? The most evident is maybe a signage application, daisy chaining multiple hops of displays from a single or dual sources and present in a very efficient way high number of displays with only one cable connected from one to another. So if I have, let's say in this example, I have two streams over two hops, typically in this case, we could use up to 4 displays. So two sources, HDMI 1 and 2, can be extended from the source side to the first hop where you have display 1, display 2. And then once again, another extension to another hop, display 1, display 2. And these extension could be up to 100 meters. So here is a visualization of this system. These are real boards that we will show for the first time at ISE. So now I can have a very low cost, but yet high performing signage application using the DHDI. The other use case I'm showing here is actually in a meeting room scenario. I have a big meeting room and I want to have two independent sources, two users, maybe two different locations in the room, extend their video to two different displays, and at the same time receive USB devices from the faraway side. And in this way, the USB can be switched to any of the PCs. So this is more like a virtual USB switch, which is now available through this feature, as well as having two independent video streams. And everything goes over one single cable. So the total cost of the installation and the simplicity of the installation is there, and yet you get much more flexibility. So this will be showed at ISE, at our booth, and you're all welcome to see it in person.
And that really is a value proposition, I think, that is going to resonate with everyone who's at ISE, talking about a lot of value, a lot of features and benefits with a relatively low cost and with a low barrier to entry in terms of the simplicity, not being overly difficult for people to manage. That really, I think, speaks to the zeitgeist of the moment, which is exactly what end users and integrators, therefore, are looking for. So thank you for giving us a preview of that.
If I may add to that point,
Sure.
remember, and I think integrators that used HDBaseT in the past realize that they don't need any complex setup, no updated software, no dependency on the operating system, no special configuration. It's very simple. You come in, you install, you wire, you turn on the power, and it's done. No extra effort there.
That is very, very important. And the elimination of that extra effort, I think, is going to be music to a lot of people's ears at ISE. So they're going to be checking out what Valens has to offer in that regard. I also want to just turn to USB-C interfaces, their prevalence in corporate and education markets. My understanding is Valens is going to be showcasing a USB Type-C professional grade extension solution there. Do you want to talk a little bit about that extension solution?
Yes, you're right. Type-C connectors, Type-C extensions are becoming very popular as the laptops start to use Type-C, in some cases together with HDMI, some cases only Type-C option. The Type-C as a connector really embodies in itself multiple interfaces, actually very much similar like HDBaseT, where we can aggregate a lot of interfaces into one connector, into one cable. So is the Type-C. And when you combine the Type-C capabilities with the HDBaseT capabilities, you now get a very nice user experience of a simple cable coming out, maybe underneath the table. One cable is there. You plug it to your laptop, and you can get the laptop charged while you're presenting. You can get the video out of the Type-C extended all the way to the faraway display. You could get the remote USB camera over the same cable to the laptop. So the whole single cable experience is realized nicely with HDBaseT combined with Type-C. We are going to show that at ISE, and you're welcome to come and visit us to see it yourself.
I know I'm looking forward to seeing it myself personally, and I think ISE showgoers likewise will be flocking to the booth to check that out. The last thing I want to talk to you about, Gabi, are some of the groundbreaking video conferencing multi-camera solutions Valens is going to be unveiling. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I definitely want to. Today, in many meeting rooms, we see one big display and one camera. Over the next few years, I think we'll see a much larger scale implementation with multiple displays and multiple cameras. So why multiple cameras? Because it's very obvious, if you have a large room and you have multiple users in the room, for the faraway participants, when they look at the room from one single camera, typically facing the room from the display side, you see the participants in different size, and some of them you can see only the profile, some of them are too far away, you can't see them at all. So you will see that many of the providers will start to offer multi-camera solutions for the room. It could be maybe multiple camera combined in one big video conferencing bar, and it could be multi-cameras along the table or maybe installed on the opposite walls. And with that, you get a much better coverage of the room. And with the proper AI, the solution will be able to do the right, to be, let's say, context aware, figure out what is happening in the meeting and present the right image. So for example, if there is one person speaking, then it will present that person only. If there is a question and answers Q&A session going on between two independent participants, he can decide to put them side by side. And this is to allow the remote participants to feel part of the meeting, to be part of that meeting. Also very important, if you have a whiteboard, I want to embed that whiteboard picture in the meeting. So you will need more than one camera. So we are presenting a very innovative product called VA7000. It's a product that can extend an interface called CSI. CSI stands for Camera Serial Interface. It's a MIPI standard CSI extension technology with HDBaseT can help our vendors build products that make multiple camera solution in a very low cost way and in a very high performing way, because the way we do the CSI extension is with no compression. We can carry 4K 60 content uncompressed. And the cost of the extension over CSI is by far cheaper than extension over HDMI or USB. So come have a look at that demonstration. Camera serial interface used for multi-camera solution in the video conferencing world.
Thank you so much, Gabi, for sharing this with me. I think it was an incredibly informative few minutes of conversation. I think it's really whetting people's appetites for what they're going to be able to check out at ISE, at the Valens booth, co-located with the HDBaseT Alliance, booth 2M650. Again, booth 2M650. I know I can't wait to check it out, and I think ISE showgoers broadly feel exactly the same way. So much revolutionary technology on display. Thank you once again, Gabi, for joining me. Gabi Shriki, head of audio video business at Valens, and of course, Valens is the co-founder of the HDBaseT Alliance. My name is Dan Farisi, editor-in-chief with Commercial Integrator. Please check back on commercialintegrator.com each and every day in the run-up to ISE.